If you're Christian, let's say that you don't want to be with somebody that's been like super promiscuous or like virginity or chasteness is important to you, I think it's totally fair to care about like a person's sexual history. I think that's fair. But there's a couple problems. One is you're going to be able to ascertain this 99% of the time without ever asking for a body count. Okay, a true Christian person that's courting a woman doesn't need to think like, man, is she slut? You're probably gonna see this because of 50 million other factors in their life. If a girl hears you ask that question, it's probably already a red flag for her, because like, what a weird question to ask so immediately, number one. And then number two, it's also a stupid question because if you're asking it, you probably care about it, and it's self-defeating because the woman's probably just gonna lie about it, and you have absolutely no way whatsoever. There's never been a man of work. There's never been any person that was like, oh, like I met this person and they clicked a million different ways, but then I found out they had 15 partners and I just couldn't do it. That has never happened. If there is a person with an ultra high body count, an ultra high horrible lifestyle, you're gonna get turned off way before that question even comes up.
Dumb.
Notice a friendship termination. Destiny, you run. Having a high body count implies a lot of things. LOL, what do you mean? If you can't ascertain the values or things of your partner without like having a number, here's two issues. One is that this is the only time I'm going to address this too. It's such a boring topic, and it's only a topic that virgins obsess over, because the most of the people that obsess over this are people that are in red pill communities that we see have problems with relationships, don't have girlfriends, don't have bitches. Okay, they don't. I'm not even saying that as like just an insult. If you're a virgin, that's fine or whatever. But like we saw the Fresh and Fit audience at the Valuetainment studio. 99% of those guys raised their hands and said they don't have a girlfriend.
Show of hands if you're married in the audience. Show of hands. Okay, very few.
Yeah, no shit. It's the Fresh and Fit audience. Is that this guy's hair? Or do you think that's like an artifact? Oh my god, it is.
we got cameras on the audience? Show of hands if you're currently in a relationship. Okay.
Stupid.
So half the audience. Show of hands if you're single.
Did he say half the audience?
Currently in a relationship. Okay. Okay.
Does that look like half the audience to you? I see 5 hands up, I think. Okay.
So half the audience.
Okay, hold on. Front lady had her hands up. 6 hands up here.
Show of hands if you're single.
Oh. The other half.
That's me. That's the other half.
Now, for all the single dudes out there, raise your hand if you want a girlfriend or a wife or a girl in your life. Show of hands. Okay, so the most of you want a girl in your life. Show of hands if you want to do the Myron approach and have multiple wives. Okay.
Like, how sad, this should be the most sad and most delusional moment of the show, is you've got a bunch of guys that don't even have one girlfriend that are aspiring to 3.
Yeah.
90% of those people raised their hand and said they wanted multiple girlfriends. Most of you guys that are in these communities are literally in these communities explicitly because you have no bitches, you have no girls, you have no people in your life. If you did, you wouldn't be in those communities looking for advice, okay? So there's 2 huge problems. One is that there are a million other ways to ascertain whether or not you have close values or not than asking the question of what's your body count, okay? And a subsection of that is, if you're trying to find out if you have similar values, just asking that question might already be like if a girl hears you ask that question, it's probably already a red flag for her, because like, what a weird question to ask so immediately, number one. And then number two, it's also a stupid question because if you're asking it, you probably care about it, and it's self-defeating because the woman's probably just gonna lie about it, and you have absolutely no way whatsoever. This is like the most obvious thing to me, why I know it's a question by virgins and for virgins, because nobody would seriously go on a date and be like, what's your body count, and expect a serious answer. If you've ever talked to a woman before, if you've ever been on a date before, if you ever talked to a slut before, you're never gonna be in a dinner and be like, so what's your body count? And she's gonna be like, 74. That's never happened in the history of all of first date kind. So this is just like it's a by virgin, for virgin question. And I notice that a lot of sex advice, I talk about the sex subreddit all the time, a lot of sex advice, a lot of relationship advice, a lot of like red pill, all that shit. A lot of it's just advice that doesn't work. And it's obvious that people have no experience, including most of the content creators. And it's just cringe to listen to. So I don't want like a bunch of like people in my community, being programmed or like even thinking about that, like, oh shit, like should I be like grilling a woman on her body count like on our first date? It's like a stupid cancerous, yeah. It'd be like having a bunch of people in my subreddit posting like, this is why the female orgasm is fake, or this is why clits aren't real. Yeah, it's just a stupid, I just don't care. I don't care, and I don't want it in my community. Can't you just say it's okay to discuss if the conversation naturally leads there? Yeah, of course. Conversations go to all sorts of places. Past partners and shit might come up. But if you're ever in a conversation and you're like, what's your body count? Like you've already made so many errors. One is assuming the person will even answer honestly. And two is trying to figure out if this is the best way to figure out if you even have similar values. It's just such a stupid, but anyway, it's cringe. It's cringe. I don't want it in my community, so I don't care. Destiny, why do you not account for other people's boundaries? That is a very common boundary for men, so just let them draw it and reduce your dating pool. Why call people toxic or stupid? Because you are toxic or stupid. It would be like having the boundary of like, I only want to date women with like triple D breasts. You're probably a retard. Like, I think we can be honest and say that there are probably some boundaries that are like fair, and there are probably some boundaries that are like retarded. If you're Christian and and let's say that you don't want to be with somebody that's been like super promiscuous or like virginity or chasteness is important to you, I think it's totally fair to care about like a person's sexual history. I think that's fair. But there's a couple problems. One is you're going to be able to ascertain this 99% of the time without ever asking for a body count. Okay, a true Christian person that's courting a woman doesn't need to think like, man, is she a slut? You're probably going to see this because of 50 million other factors in their life. So truly religious people are probably never asking that question because they know, because they can figure it out based on the other person's behavior. Number one. And the second problem is most of you guys, and this is probably the thing that angers me the most growing up Catholic, most of you guys are not religious. You're fake religious people. And I hope to God that there is a God, because I hope that when you guys die and you're on your way to heaven, he smites you and strikes you down because you utilize religion in the worst fucking way possible, which is to use it as a cudgel against people you don't like. Okay? No truly Christian man is going online shitting on women for being promiscuous. It is the least Christian thing I can ever think of doing. Most of you guys are fake as you never picked up a Bible, you never picked up a Quran. You've probably read the Torah more than any other book because you use it to shit on Jewish people because half of you are on some weird fucking Matrix Nazi land. So the idea that you say you're so chaste and religious and the only thing you use it for is to talk about women's promiscuity means you don't give a fuck about the religion at all. And it's so fucking cringe to pretend that you're so holy and chaste and Christian when you probably don't even know how many fucking gospels there are. Okay? It's cringe as fuck. So I don't care. All right? Okay? Clap, clap, clap. All right? All right. Reddit once talked in another context about internalized shame becomes externalized blame. Do you think this applies to red pillars when they talk about female body counts? I think that people just like to blame people for problems. I think it's like, it's pretty simple. I don't want to do the red pill shit anymore. I just don't care. I think that it feels good when you've got problems to blame other people. Women aren't easy people to blame, just like Jewish people. Like, that's it. Like, it's as simple as that. That's how I view it. That's how it comes off to me. I know it'd be exhausting to identify nuances in your argument section off the people you were talking about, and I don't know how to do this efficiently, but people that might be looking to validate their biases sometimes run off with the arguments you make about, say, body counts, and that a lot of people are using body counts for their misogynist views, make broad generalized statements to kill nuance. Yeah, sure. I mean, like, there are going to be people that legitimately feel a certain type of way about body counts, and that's fine. But like, most of you people talking about it don't. You just hate women. It's so obvious. It comes off so obviously in the types of ways that people talk about women, and the types of ways they approach them, and the types of ways they talk about relationships, the idea that women shouldn't be allowed to get divorced, that they make up all these statistics, that they all blah, blah, blah. Like, it's so obvious that the underlying current is hate women. Like, that's like where the message starts and stops. I mean, like, there are legitimate reasons to care about body count and blah, blah, blah. Like, I'm sure. And there are probably even legitimate ways to bring it up in first dates, but it's not by this crowd. It's not by you fucking retards. Like, absolutely not. So, but again, I also don't care. If you disagree with me, that's fine too. Go talk to all these guys that fucking date the same Instagram models, the same OnlyFans women that they also shit on and tell you guys to ignore. Like, go listen to those guys. I don't care. Who brainwashed you at Destiny? You used to understand Red Pill way better. Now you're on the opposite spectrum of not even trying to understand. I understand where you're coming from, but I understand that you're coming from that place because you're retarded. And now that I'm out of these spaces and I'm not trying to mingle in these spaces anymore, I'm not here to placate or appease your retardation. But just because I understand you doesn't mean that I think it's acceptable, okay, or that you're not retarded. Does that make sense? I understand where the red pill shit comes from. I know where these things come from, but that doesn't make it okay, and it doesn't mean I think it's a good thing, and it doesn't mean I think we should support it, or that my understanding should be confused with approval. I don't know what else to say. I'm sorry. Why does conversation always revolve around the same topics? How many times do you discuss this? It's the same thing with, like, I guess it's the same thing with everything. It's politics and everything. Because nobody actually has the experience to dive any deeper. Like, this is where all the conversations about, like, dating and relationships, like, starts and stops. Is like shit like body count and stuff. Why? Like, why not? Like, how do you resolve conflict in a relationship? That would be an interesting thing to hear. How do you when you're 3 or 4 dates in with a person, how do you figure out if this is a good long-term partner for you? That would be an interesting conversation to talk about. What do you do if you really like somebody and after 4 months you guys are living together and now you're running into conflicts in the household? How much is too much? How do you delineate who does what chores, who does what? That would be an interesting conversation. These are all, how do you deal with a partner who seems like they have more allegiance to their parents than to you, or they side with their parents in fights with you, or they let their family shit on you? That's an interesting topic. How do you balance out a relationship where one partner is still going to school and the other partner works and resentment is building because they're not sure if their partner is going to be with them after they finish school, so they don't know if they're going to get their investment back, right? There's a million billion trillion fascinating topics to talk about in regards to relationships and relationship dynamics. I cannot imagine spending years obsessing over body count as being the main driver of whether or not a relationship works. It's like, again, I don't know how to put into words that anybody looking in from the outside who's not a virgin or a loser can see how incredibly basic and simple the conversations are. And it's like, do you guys just not know anything or have any experience or whatever? Like that's how I feel looking in. It would be the equivalent of like you go into some school and they're like, we're all NFL players, and it's like, oh cool, you guys are all gonna be in the NFL. I'm like, yeah, and like they're talking about, I don't know, they're arguing over like how many yards are on a field. Like, I don't even know what to, like, it's so basic. Then why don't you talk about this instead of going to the 100th Red Pill podcast? Because I can't talk about these topics on Red Pill podcasts because these topics are not for people that watch Red Pill content. People that watch Red Pill content are virgins, and I don't mean that as an insult. I mean, they're legitimately people lacking in sexual or relationship experience. So what is it to them to talk about relationship dynamics? They don't have any, right? But when I do have like interesting conversations to me, or for instance, the conversation I had with Ayla was very interesting to me. She has an incredibly wild sexual history. She is incredibly promiscuous, off the norm, and her view and engagement with the topic is really interesting to me because it's very far off the norm and she has a lot of experience. But half of you guys lose your minds listening to a woman talk about doing an orgy. Like, it's over. You can't even engage with the topic. You would much rather go back to like, hold on, Destiny, we need to talk about whether or not men and women are the same and if body counts are important, because that's where the real conversation is. Like, I don't want to have that conversation 50 million fucking times. I'd rather talk to people that are in relationships and have relationship experience, or even Erudite and her relationship history sounds kind of interesting. But like, there's nothing publicly to explore because the type of audience that follows Red Pill stuff isn't the type of audience to have interesting relationship conversations because they don't have the experience. Yeah. I'm not into Red Pill space, but I understand some of the points they make about men's mental health, depression, low self-esteem, etc. The body count, other stuff. Yeah, but here's the problem, okay? This is my problem with the Red Pill spaces, all right? You'll have like, this is like lifting advice, which is always dog shit. This is like self-help and esteem. And then this is like shitting on women. And I'll be like, I think these spaces are unhealthy for these reasons. And be like, well, it's not, but I mean, they give a lot of self-help advice and they talk about men's problems. No, they don't. Bullshit. They talk about fucking men's problems. Half the shit these guys say are literally the direct contributor to men's problems. These guys like encompass the same type of toxic masculine ideology that literally drives men to suicide. That literally drives men to fucking hate themselves. That literally drives society to devalue men. Like, where is the men's help? It's not. The men's help is all centered around either one, vague or pointless or needlessly reductive or stupid self-help advice that sucks, or two, just standing on the bodies of the women they bring on their shows to like slay. Like, that's it. It's more about shitting on women than it is about helping men. Like, again, you will never find a shredded guy in your life. You'll never find a dude that's accomplished. And it's like, damn, dude, how'd you get there? And he's like, well, I didn't know where to start lifting. I didn't know what to do with my diet. I didn't know what to do with my investments. But then I started watching the Red Pill, and there's so much great advice in those communities. Like, I learned so much. Like, no, you didn't. This has never happened in the history of like all of mankind. Again, go listen to Tony Robbins. Go read something by Dale Carnegie. Go listen to the plethora of like actual fucking gym bros on, even the fucking Hodge twins, literally, and even the Greg Dusha guy, literally anybody on YouTube, even the worst of the gym guys is going to give you better or more realistic advice for self-help or gym or literally anything than fucking Red Pill spaces. Like, what the fuck? Like, Jesus Christ. Yeah, like, I've never heard of the gym before Andrew Tate. Like, I didn't even know these places. Like, I didn't know what a barbell was until I watched, like, Rolo Tomasi tweet about how I need to chop my beginning of a segment. Like, Jesus. I'm sure most of your progressive audience are virgins too. It's not just a red pill problem. That's fine. There's no problem with being a virgin. The problem is when you're a virgin and you have incredibly strong opinions about like how relationships should work and run, and then the podcasts you watch don't even talk about relationships. They just talk about like they just talk about the getting laid part. Right? At the very least, I could take a virgin seriously if they like listen to like actual material on relationships. But they don't. They don't. But okay. All right, please stop. How are we talking about red pill again? I don't know how you can try to convince men to not care about body count at Destiny. That's not very base. I'm not trying to convince anybody to not care about body count. I'm just saying there's never been a high value guy. There's never been a man of work. There's never been any person that was like, oh, like I met this person, they clicked a million different ways, but then I found out they had 15 partners and I just couldn't do it. That has never happened. That's only losers that think that way. If there is a person with an ultra high body count, an ultra high horrible lifestyle, you're gonna get turned off way before that question even comes up. You're gonna figure out that you're not compatible with this person because of 50 million other things that you're gonna see through dating, through talking, through observation. It's never gonna be that question. If it is that question, you're just, yeah. But again, if you disagree with me, also, that's fine. Who the fuck am I? I'm just some random fucking streamer virgin guy myself. I don't know what you think about fucking women or being a relationship. Like, who the fuck am I? You know, don't listen to me. Go listen to everybody else that fucks the same OnlyFans models and Instagram girls that they make fun of on their shows all day. Go do that instead. I don't care, all right? No one is talking to you. Okay, my bad. Okay. Insecurity, double standard between men and women. Okay, let's see if I can predict this post. Destiny says it's bad when men ask about body counts and says it's just because they're insecure. But when women ask for men's income history, suddenly that's okay. Is it something like that? Let's try this. So double standard between the way insecurity is viewed in men and women. I can't tell if I'm unable to see my own bias here. E.g., if a man is described as being insecure, it is typically in a derogatory manner and lots of negative connotations are brought up with it, insecure, incel, etc. If a woman is described as insecure, it is normally not in a negative way, but in a way one would describe as someone who's traumatized or injured. Oh, she's insecure, she's been cheated on. It seems as if men's insecurities are inherently seen as unjustified and due to personal fault, whereas women's insecurities are understood as being the fault of men. This could be due in general. Oh, no, actually I agree with this 100%. I think that I don't think it's a man-woman thing. I think it's a majority-minority thing. I think majorities are never allowed to have problems ever, because I guess we're supposed to be superhuman gods, and minorities are allowed to be the weakest, most worthless people ever. If you're a black male, especially, if you're a black man and you're online and you're like, if I enter a space and I just see predominantly white people, I feel like the white supremacist structures that have existed historically in the United States and the attitudes that white people can have pervasively, even in a subconscious manner, influence the way that they interact with me. And it just makes me incredibly uncomfortable. If you say that as a black person, I'm pretty sure you'll get like a standing ovation. People are like, oh my God, so true, King. But if you're a white guy and you're like, I'm really uncomfortable going to areas with lots of black people, just historically, the associations with crime, the massive overrepresentation, things like burglary, and the way that some black people, I guess, like view white people makes me really uncomfortable. I feel like I'm gonna get robbed or something if I'm in an area. You're like done. That's it. You're donezo. But like both of these thoughts can stem from the exact same interpersonal or societal experiences. But for one of them, you're like basically clapped on and applauded. And for the other one, yeah, you're seen as like a horrible, evil person. I agree with this. I've heard women say that they're uncomfortable with black men. And I don't know, man, it's hard to push back since it's based on their experience. Have you really? I feel like a woman couldn't say that. I feel like a woman could say she's uncomfortable with a man. But I don't know if a woman could say she's uncomfortable with black men. Like, I remember that I was arguing with a friend the other day. And I said, this video is like, this video got really popular. And I feel like at the time, most people thought it was funny. I wish I would have done a better job at the time. Come
here. You scared of black people, yeah? You scared of black people, yeah? We are not scary. We're just normal people. Stop being fucking scared, bruv. You dumb bitch. Shut up, man. Dumb bitch. Dumb bitch. Shut the fuck up. Man's literally walking in the alley, fam. This woman sees me. She literally goes and fucking runs off, fam.
So I feel like this is a funny video. I feel like most people thought it was a funny video, but I don't know. I can only find like recent posts of this. But if this video was made by, I hate to do this, but I am going to do this. If this video was made by a white man, it wouldn't work at all. You would be seen as fucking unhinged, probably a rapist. You would be doxxed. People try to find out where you work. Your life would be fucking over. Your life would be fucking over. So it's kind of funny seeing like all the little intersectional competing oppressed classes at play here. Because if a white guy made this clip, he'd be like, bro, she's running from you because you're a man chasing her in an alleyway. You're fucking unhinged. But now it's like, oh, well, she must be running from you because you're black, so she's racist. But I don't know. Who knows? Why am I just might be crazy. I spent a lot of time in Sweden, in a lot of different cities, and a lot of time in Stockholm. Vogue model / Swedish girl at the metro. I'm sorry, but if you're an American and you've never been to Sweden before, you shouldn't be allowed to post about the beautiful women of Sweden. This is not what an average girl in Sweden looks like. And literally only Americans will say some retarded shit like this. This is just not true. I'm sorry. Yeah, I don't know what else to say. I say, once insecure female, I think many of you guys are just blind to the way female insecurity is turned around back on us, which is understandable because you aren't actually female. But if you're looking for actual answers and not just confirmation of your preconceived notions, then you'd probably be surprised to discover the ways that a woman's insecurity is often weaponized against her by both men and other women. Don't like current makeup trends, you're just insecure and afraid of baddies stealing your man. Don't like your... I mean, this is true too, sure. But I mean, like, at the end of the day, regardless of the justification for your insecurity, I mean, like, it's kind of hard for anybody to just get over it, right? Like, nobody's going to feel like they can do that, even if, I don't know.
Do you have a problem with that? Do you not want
well,
me?
no, I didn't know if you were calling me because, on some private shit or if it was just whatever. But okay, now everybody can hear you.
But that's so nice. You would have answered if, like, you
Well, I don't know if you're,
everything.
like, dying or something. Jesus, I'm not going to, like, that was Boze's last phone call right before she passed out from renal failure or something.
That's
Jesus.
Okay. You can unmute it. That's okay. Okay, we're in the middle of a really unfortunate situation. This sucks. So I did this whole thing. I set up this whole thing because I thought you didn't respond to my last message, and then I just saw you did. But I have to do it anyways because I've already set this up, and then we'll just like figure it out.
Okay.
Do you have a moment?
What is a moment?
Okay, like 5 minutes.
I've got 5 minutes. Go ahead.
Okay, you have to put something up on your screen.
Okay.
Okay, and then also let's just. I think we need to like set the tone. Also, can you just like run through this through the lens of as though you didn't respond to my last message, because otherwise it like doesn't work.
You know what? Boom, there you go.
Okay. Oh, perfect. Okay, and all right, can you just like, I'm gonna go ahead and pick this one. Can you just play that? Just
for no particular reason?
Just play that and then let me know when it's going.
Sure thing.
Okay, and then you know what? Let's do the third track. Just the one at 6. Actually, no. Let's just do the first one. I think that's fine.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. Can you let me know when it's playing?
Okay. I can't really.
Can you go ahead and open that? Can you go ahead and open that? Can you read it?
I can open it, but I can't move it to my other screen because it's like on a different computer. But I can read it.
You can't put it on the. Wait. We'll pause the fucking song for a second. It has to like be up there.
Okay, then you need to upload this onto the internet somewhere somehow. Wait, hold on.
Can I email it to you?
Just let me figure this out. Jesus Christ. Okay.
Can you read it? I don't want to read it. I feel like that like takes away from it. Okay. Restart the song.
Notice of friendship termination. Date September 1st, 2023. To Stephen Bonnell, address destiny.gg. Dear Stephen, I hope this message finds you well. This letter serves as a formal 30-day notification regarding the current status of our friendship. Please be informed that due to extreme instances of neglect and being a bad friend, this friendship is due to be terminated. This decision has not been made lightly. You will have 30 days from the date of this letter till October 1st, 2023 to consider...
I wrote it a couple days ago, but you weren't live. So.
Yeah, okay, I gotcha. To consider any remedial actions to reverse this decision, or you may choose to discuss with Boze immediately. Post this period, if there's no mutual consensus or understanding reached, please fill out the attached forms to finalize the termination of this friendship. Please understand this was an incredibly difficult decision to make. It doesn't reduce the value of the fun times we've had or difficult times we've been through together. If this agreement is to be terminated, I wish you all the best in your future endeavors and personal growth. Sincerely, Boze Bosington.
Yeah. So... So basically, you know, I will say, did you respond to the last message? Sure, but you know, for the sake of this, like you did not. But I you know, I just want to say we need we need to fix something here. There needs to be some type of remedy. Like you need to ask me how I'm doing more often. Like you need to hit me up more. You need to. Okay, you responded pretty fast, but like we have to do something.
Okay, true. Are you can I turn the song off now or?
Oh yeah, you can totally turn this on.
Do you still live in LA? Do you say that? Did I
Me?
just dox you? Yeah.
Of course. Yo, no, I live in Los Angeles. That's okay. Just nobody kill me.
Okay, listen, the next time I'm in LA, which happens basically like once a month now, I'm gonna let you know. We're gonna go get food and it's gonna be amazing, okay?
Oh my God, Steven, that would mean so much to me. So now, can you just riddle me this, just like for a moment? So if you've been coming pretty frequently for the past month or so, why didn't you tell me?
I thought you had moved out of the state, so.
No.
Yeah, I think I heard you say something about that.
You did not.
I think you did. I thought you did.
No, you didn't. Okay. Well, fuck, dude. I really lost my steam once I saw that you had responded to my message. How did you miss that?
Well,
happened.
maybe I need to send you a friendship termination agreement since you're just ignoring what I respond.
Well, no, we have to send a.
There have
We
been
have to send
multiple
a.
times. There have been multiple times where I've responded to a message where you're like, "Oh my God, I need something. It's really important." And I'm like, "Hey, what's up?" And then you just don't respond for months.
I didn't see it. And also, I never need anything. You know what I do, Stephen? I check in. I say, hey, how are you doing? How's it going? Are you happy? Is life good? And honestly, I just need a couple lines here or there. And then knowing that you're happy, I'm like, this is good. I'll move on. But you have to admit, our friendship has been radio silence for like what? Like almost like a year?
Okay, I'll reach out. Okay, I got a spreadsheet of people I reach out to regularly. I'll go ahead and add you to the urgent
Put me to
one.
the spread.
So
And
that
then can you
on
put
the,
me in like the first like 10 or something like that? Like I feel like.
I'll do my best. Okay.
Okay. All right. Thank you. That's all I need.
Okay. I love you, buddy. Be careful.
Okay. All right. Bye, Steve.